All right, my fellow Capricorns, how are you today? Happy New Year to you. Aaron here bringing your monthly astrology reading for January 2020. This is for Capricorn Sun, Capricorn Moon, Capricorn Rising. If you're new to the channel, please check it out. We're doing daily horoscope videos every single day that are going to dive deeper into these aspects and give us a greater insight of what's going on as above, so below. All right, my fellow Capricorns, we have a heck of a year ahead of us, and January is starting us off with the Babe Ruth out of the park grand slam, okay? There is so much energy happening in our first house, okay? Yes, I'm saying, oh, I'm a Capricorn as well. So there's so much happening in the Capricorn first house. There's so much happening that's like we've been dealing with things for, going back to 2015. There was some serious aspects that happened that have been very life-changing aspects that are finally coming full circle. And it's just like the universe is saying, okay, your time to shine. You are the top of the zodiac. You are the leader. There's a lot of energy going on that's saying, okay, you've earned it. Now embody it and be it and lead by example, okay? So right off the gate on the 1st and the 2nd, so today, tomorrow, depending on what time you're watching this, Mercury is going to meet up with Jupiter, okay? Jupiter just moved into Capricorn December 3rd, something like that. So Mercury is our planet of communication, of information. All right, Jupiter is our planet of abundance, our planet of more, our planet of faith, our planet of luck, our planet of higher knowledge and education and learning, okay, religion, all kinds of, all those good things. So it's just like we're going to get some new insight coming our way. New information is coming our way. And all of this energy is happening in the first house, which is about self, okay, self-transformation, self-abundance, learning self. It's like meditation literally means to know thyself, so it's like this is a year of getting to know yourself, of getting to know the true leaders that you are, and to lead by example continuously. Okay, so on the 1st and 2nd, again, Mercury meeting up with our planet of abundance and saying, okay, there's more information to absorb right now that I want you to really get this. And that's happening so close to the south node as well. It's also saying, like, look, what in the past has been holding you back from truly being yourself? What self-defeating thoughts do you have that no longer serve you? Because bye-bye, they don't serve us here in 2020. They don't serve us where we're going for the rest of our lives, okay? So it's a really powerful aspect. Now, on the 3rd, Mars is going to move out of the 11th house into the 12th house. So we've had so much energy going on in the 11th house since September of 2019. Okay, so this is, dealing with friends, community, potentially feeling a bit of like a loner, a lone wolf kind of thing going on. And that's okay because it was time to heal, and at the same time, you are still meeting, while healing, while going through, it's like the caterpillar into the what chrysalis or whatever it is, and into being a butterfly. It's just like this huge metamorphosis has been going on, and that has to be done alone. That cannot be done with a bunch of other people. But at the same time as this healing's been going on, you have been able to meet some really key elements and key people throughout this journey in the past several months that's leading to this new kind of sense of a soul tribe connection that, by staying the goat that you are and getting up the mountaintop and going down and going up and down to receive, chasing after yourself, you have been able to find the right people that are also doing those same things, taking those same steps. So you're meeting people on the same level as yourself, not here, you know what I mean? So on the 3rd, Mars is moving out of that sector into the 12th house, into Sagittarius, which it's going to be for about 2 months, okay? So January and February. And that's in the sign of completion. So Mars is our accelerated planet of, of go. It's the foot on the gas, So it's just like what we need to do right now is some spiritual work. What we need to do right now is tap into our unconscious, our subconscious, and absorb a lot of new information, okay, as the 12th house is the sign of completion. It's the infant as well as the guru on the mountaintop. And in the sign of Sagittarius, this is about abundance and learning, learning more religion, learning more about spirituality, learning more about education, whichever of these things are, interest you. The next, through all of January and February, it's going to be very highlighted and a lot of new stuff coming in, which is really powerful. On the 8th and the 9th, Mercury is going to meet up with the sun. Okay, so this is a really fun aspect. So Mercury's been behind the sun, and then on the 8th and 9th, Mercury passes the sun. And this is a Prometheus aspect, where it's just like, you've stolen the fire from the gods to give it to people, as Mercury rushes ahead of the sun now. Okay, so it's like we're gonna take all the new information that we've been learning on the 1st and the 2nd top of the year, with the Mercury conjunct Jupiter, and applying that to self. And understanding that this is the tortoise wins the race this year, that it's not about going to the gym and doing 13 hours one day and then hitting it next month, 13 hours that day, and then hitting next month. It's just like, no, we're going to do this little at a time. I'm going to get out of bed. I'm going to do, 5 minutes of meditation, or I'm going to get out of bed, I'm going to do 1 push-up or 2 push-ups. And then maybe, it's just like, but consistency. Consistency is the name of the game this January and the 2020 in general. Okay. So it's like whatever we learn on the beginning of the year, we're really starting to embody through in the middle of the month, in the 8th and the 9th. Okay. Then on the 9th, there is a lunar eclipse. Okay, this is happening in the 7th house of partnerships. Okay, love. Okay, so if you're in a partnership, expect it to deepen. If you're in a love romantic relationship, expect that to deepen. If you are seeking love, know that which you are seeking is also seeking you. Okay, so this is an opportunity for love. The North Node has been in your house of partnership, 7th house, for over a year now. And it's reminding us to be empathetic, compassionate, nurturing to other people. Sometimes there's this Capricorn, gruff energy. It's just like, we got to get the job done. We don't have time for these emotions. We've got a job to do. We have to get to the top of the mountain, and we have, the sun's going to come down. And if we don't complete all of these things, so sometimes it can be a very, very caring and nurturing, but at the same time, we can be rather gruff, rough on the edges, as this mountain, so this beautiful big mountain here, and then it's just like this water slowly trickles through. Okay, and what started as just a bead drop slowly trickling through eventually created a river, and then that river created the Grand Canyon. You see what I'm saying here? So it's like this mountain slowly shapes way as the water allows to flow. The water meaning those emotions. So the North Node being over in the sign of Cancer, and the South Node being the sign of Capricorn, 1st house here, this is saying, look, we have to round out our rough edges a little bit. Okay, and to do so, we have to be empathetic and caring. I'll show you the chart here. Empathetic and caring to what the other needs. Okay, so the moon is going to meet up here. This is lunar eclipses, or eclipses in general, are supercharged full moons and new moons. This is the full moon. As we're seeing the shadow, we're seeing the full illuminated moon, and we're seeing the shadow of Earth upon it. Okay, so we get to see our own shadow this January. Okay, really powerful eclipse. And again, this is like Uranian energy, so that's this big breakthrough. It's the big aha moment that's happening between all of this big earth energy and this very beautiful, soft, nurturing, caring, empathetic, water, emotional energy. Okay, again, reminding us to care more about the other, to take their perspective into consideration. All right, put the horns away. So that's happening on the 9th. Then the 11th and 12th, this is where I've got the chart set right now, is the 11th. On the 11th, Mercury is going to, well, let me jump back here for a second. Right now, Saturn, as I'm making this video on the 21st, or on the 1st, Saturn is at the 21st degree of Capricorn, okay? Which is all about surrendering, okay? This is, again, surrendering to this greater power of like emotion, surrendering, of knowing when to be the leader and when the leader needs to gracefully tap out. All right, so the Sun and Mercury are both meeting up at the 21 degrees, where Saturn is right now. Then Mercury is going to jump ahead and meet up with Saturn and Pluto at the 22nd degree. Okay, so it's like once we surrender, once we allow, it's like the real alpha males aren't a threat to other alpha males. Okay, alpha male, and there's like butting heads. There's like some sort of a competition. There's like trying to one up each other. Where like the true alpha, there's no competition, because the competition was self. So then it's empowerment of the other people. Hey, I see you, brother. I see you, sister. I see your strengths. I see the power that you have. I see your leadership skills. There's no competition between us. Let's utilize these skills together and grow together, right? So there's a sense of surrendering that like bit of ego mind, okay? Surrendering that side of self and empowering oneself and empowering others. So unable to surrender, we're able to empower, okay? So it's very important as the Saturn and Pluto conjunction happens on the 11th and the 12th. This hasn't happened since 1982, 37 years ago, which is a conjunction. The opposition was September 2001, which we can all remember the crazy things that happened at that point in time. So this is really big, life-changing energy. Again, this only happens a few times in our lives, every, 37 or so years. And happening in the sign of Capricorn, this is a sign of government and structure and discipline. So it's just like, again, adding that little bit of structure and discipline to ourselves every single day. Surrendering part of ourselves, surrendering part of our ego is a very big aspect of this leading into 2020 and leading into the rest of our lives, to be perfectly honest with you. And then at the 22nd degree, where these are meeting up, where Saturn, the ruling planet of this third dimension of our physical reality, and Pluto, the ruling, the ruler of death and destruction and transformation, where they're meeting up together, is just like there's a new way that we can govern ourselves. There's a new way that we can live on a daily life that is sustainable to ourselves and be the leaders that the other people look up to, not that they fear. Okay, that's big energy coming our way, Capricorns. All right. So that's the 12th. And then the 13th, guess what? The hero of the story, the ego self-expression, Sun gets to meet up with Saturn and Pluto, okay? So this is like further, it's just like one after another of just hitting this power struggle, surrender, being rewarded, being rewarded for surrendering, being rewarded for being the leader, being rewarded for being courageous, okay? Huge. It's huge. Then on the 13th as well, so the Sun is going to meet up with Saturn and Pluto, and as well, let me come back here, Venus, which is in our second house right now, okay, which is about financial, opportunities, it's about material possessions, is going to move into the third house, okay? So this is all about new information coming in, okay? Venus is our planet of love, want, and desire. Pisces is about our dreams, imagination, creativity, and in the third house is about communication, about knowledge, okay? So this is really feeling this beautiful knowledge coming into us, feeling our way through this, desiring new knowledge, desiring to look at both sides of the coin to really decipher on what serves us and what does not. So that's happening on the 13th. Then the Sun moves out of our first house into the second house of Aquarius here. Okay, so it's a futuristic sign of how we're going to accumulate more money, how we're going to accumulate the material possessions that we need, that we desire so much, that are going to help us and the community at large. Okay, so that's going to happen on the 20th. Then the new moon is going to happen on the 24th, right here, in the sign of Aquarius, again in the second house. This is about material goods. Very, very exciting, okay? So we've got a whole, month ahead of dealing with finances, okay? And at the same time, now at the 27th, Venus is going to meet up with Neptune, okay? Venus meeting up with Neptune. Venus is everything we want, love, and desire in life. Neptune is our dreams, our creativity, the poetry, that sweet, those beautiful films or books that have been written, the fantasies, all of these beautiful things here that you can't quite put a finger on that just make you feel amazingly. Well, Venus and Neptune get to meet up. Where the Sun-Jupiter days are the luckiest days of the year, Venus-Neptune days are the loveliest day of the year. And so it's like new information is coming in our way that is allowing us to open up to receiving this love. All right? Really, really, really cool. Very powerful. Then on the 28th, the moon is going to also connect with Venus and Neptune. Our emotional moon is what we need. Venus is what we love, want, and desire. And this is our dreams, our creativity, our imagination. Okay? Water, it's going to create a septile over here to Saturn and Pluto. Earth. Okay? First house, ourselves, our information, how we govern ourselves and our dreams. Everything is lining up to where it's just like we can manifest our dreams, our emotional wants and needs into the physical world and embody this. Okay, that's happening on the 28th. Then on the 29th, the moon is going to move into Aries, the 4th house. Chiron, the wounded healer, is going to be there all year long through 2020 and for the next 6.5 years ahead. Okay, it's only at, about 2 degrees right now. So Chiron is healing the wounds of what's going on the home front. Okay, healing our relationship with our family members, our mother, healing our relationships with our lovers, whatever's going on, so the moon meets up with that in a really powerful way. And that's kind of how we're ending the month, is this like new beginning happening here on the home front. So again, there's a lot of energy going on in January. Okay, so this Saturn Pluto meet up. A new beginning, a new way to look at self, a new way to surrender, taking off the armor that I don't need, which no longer serves me, to allow myself to be open to moving freely, to dancing, to doing yoga, to living and walking without the weight of what I no longer need. A lot of new information coming in our way, new finances, new opportunities on the work front, new material possessions that are going to help us and the community at large. So overall, very, very, very powerful month ahead that's going to, again, that ground break into January or into 2020 altogether. So thank you for hanging out. Again, check out the dailies if you're new to the channel, kind of dive deeper into all these little aspects, and we'll see you tomorrow.